game. Time to play the game!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Toe Knows, the podcast on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I am super excited today to have some soccer gentlemen in the house for our TFC roundtable. Never done before. This will be epic. So I want to introduce Mr. ALBERTO TARI from Elite Suites and Shooting Stars Academy. I have Mr. Mario PILEGGI from the Italian-Canadian Heritage Program. They work on tournaments for kids and raise funds for Italian-Canadian kids to give opportunities that they haven't had before. And Mr. Santiago VINUEZA from TFC on the Road. If you are looking to go to a TFC game and have an amazing experience, he is your man. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to talk about TFC and what is going on in 2019 with this team. We just came off a 4-0 defeat in Panama, and today we're going to ask the gentlemen a little bit about their thoughts on the game and TFC moving forward and what we need to do to fix this team and how we turn it around. So gentlemen, everyone here watched the game the other night. Panama defeats TFC 4-0 in what looked to me, no disrespect to the Panamese. Is it Panamese? Panamanians? The Panamanians. Panama. No disrespect to them, but they were playing basically on a high school stadium, 3,000 seats. They had a turf field. Most of the players didn't want to play because they said it was hurting their back in training, and TFC goes down 4-0. Gentlemen, tell me your thoughts. And you know what? We're going to be completely straightforward. We might be politically incorrect. No offense to anyone. I'll insult everyone equally. We're going to start with Santiago because of your Latin American heritage. Tell me how the TFC team lost to a subpar, I'm going to say C division, third division level team in Panama in the CONCACAF game.
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. What happened is that they got too confident. Too confident, knowing that the Independiente wasn't known to worldwide, right? So they got too confident, and again, it was Vanny's bad formation of the team.
So again, you know what? They obviously came in overly confident, right? Even though they didn't have Jovinko, Vasquez, they still came in with Bradley on the field, who's making millions of dollars, playing a team where their highest paid guys making $55,000 US. Even if you take every one of those players for granted, there is absolutely no way that team should have lost 4-0. To me, that's a total disgrace. A total disgrace, because if you are a soccer fan or a soccer individual who has any knowledge of the game, he would have made some changes to rectify the issues before it got to 4-0. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, To. Yeah, it's something's got to be done with the management. I think we got players. I think we have players, not like Jovinko but we have players that can turn around, and I think we do.
Good. Okay,
yeah.
Good. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because I hope so, right? I'm a TFC fan since day one. I'm the second season ticket holder. And still to this day, I'm still a fan, but I want a good quality product. I don't mind paying it. I paid tens of thousands of dollars for these season's tickets. You got to deliver some results, and you can't lose 4-0 to a Panamanian team. You just can't. Mario PILEGGI. Mario, I know you do great work. You help out the kids. You're big in the Italian-Canadian community. I know you organize a tournament to give opportunity to kids who may not have the opportunity to play soccer or to go to tournaments. Tell us a little bit about that. And I know that you're giving away 2 TFC tickets to the next game, which is here at home.
Yep.
The Panamanians are going to freeze their asses off, okay? They're going to come here. It's going to be so freaking cold. They're going to lose because their toes will be frozen.
Well,
okay? They don't need to know how to play soccer. No offense, Panamanians. But you're giving away these tickets. And GTA Sportsplex, what we're going to do is if you follow us at GTA Sportsplex on Instagram or Facebook, we will donate the face value of these tickets to any charity of your choice. So you be on our podcast, you follow us at GTA Sportsplex, be the first to follow, tag 3 people, and we will donate the same amount to the charity of your choice. You call us if it's sick kids, whatever it is, we want to help kids out. So thanks, Mario, for doing this.
It's amazing, Tony. Listen, I think that the game was a complete debacle. It was an embarrassment. You guys keep on talking about management. I agree. How do you have the amount of money that you have in the MLSC and allow that to take place on the pitch? It was a joke. But we're looking at management. There's management on the field as well. There's management with the coach. We're looking at Bradley as our leader. Sure, answer me truthfully. Did you see leadership from that man on the pitch?
Absolutely not. Bradley looked completely dejected. He did not look like the captain. He did not look like he makes $4 million a year. He did not look like the captain of the U.S. national team. He did not look like the Bradley of old who played for Roma. To me, I'm very disappointed.
I could not be more embarrassed for the rest of the when we have to put our faith in Delgado and in Osorio to lead the team, to be the Vasquez, to be the player, to bring the ball up to our players to score. We lost.
But I'll tell you something.
We lost right there.
We can't let those guys off the hook. And this is really kudos to Delgado and kudos to Osorio, who have risen to a higher level.
Sure.
And local guy, Osorio, fantastic player. Last year proved to me to be the offense of TFC. He's risen to the challenge. But you know what? They renewed your contract. Step it up.
You have to
be a leader. You've been there for a couple of years now. You are no longer a rookie. They re-signed you. They gave you the money. Step it up. And I did not see that from him. Delgado, he's another one. Young rising star on the national team. What's going on? You got to step. You're in Panama, for God's sakes. You're playing in a high school stadium. What is going on with the team? And like you said, the players got to step it up, not just the management. Thanks, Mario. Alberto Tari, you've been involved with soccer all your life. What do you see as the main problem with TFC this year?
Well, guys, as you guys know, looking at the game from an international level, I agree with you guys. I mean, they're playing a third, fourth division team. Yep. You know, it was really an embarrassment. It just the players are not playing with confidence. They look disorganized. They underestimated the Panamanians, and you know what? Panama came out and played for 90 minutes. TFC was nowhere to be seen, and for a team that won the championships a year ago, I'll tell you, they didn't look like champions in this 4-0 loss.
Would you say it's Vanny's fault? Was it his lineup? He did a 4-3-3 lineup.
100%.
So why, Mario? Why? Why do you think?
He underestimated. You went to a final in CONCACAF a year ago.
In Mexico.
You think that you haven't figured it out by this point?
Well, could it be the lack of players? Their bench is made up of a bunch of 19-year-olds.
How do you do that?
You're telling me. So their bench, the Toronto bench, has 3 19-year-olds on the bench. Okay, and most of these guys haven't had any MLS appearances. Some of them have. They had Jay Chapman on the bench, who I think, you know, is a decent player. But you've got a young squad. You're lacking experience. Their 4-3-3 formation was with Alex Bono in goal. Yep. On the back line, you had Ashton, Morgan, Mavinga, Seaman, and Auro. You had Captain Michael Bradley in the midfield with Delgado and Osorio. And then up front, you had Boyd and Justin Morrow and Dorsey.
There was no communication on the back line. Saman looked like he wanted to elevate the defense. Okay, Oro looked like he was, you know, in a bad position the entire game. That the Mavinga coughed up a goal. Okay, what were you gonna do?
Is it something about the psyche of the team, having lost Jovinko, Vasquez, some of the big names, Altidore not playing?
Absolutely.
Is it psychological?
Absolutely.
Santiago, what do you think? You followed this team very closely. You follow them all over North America. Tell me your opinion. Is it psychological?
Absolutely. There's something inside the dressing room where something's going on. And I would like to say also, you know, it's their first game. The Panama team already has numerous of games playing in their league, and Toronto didn't do the same training that they did last year when going.
But they were in California. They stayed in one place for their training camp. They said they were prepared. Vanny said he was prepared. No. Did Vanny underestimate the Panamanians?
Well, to be honest, when they played last year, when they did their training, they played against quality teams in Mexico.
Right.
When they went to play here in California, they play university teams.
That's right.
So how can you get the same
So does
training.
that go back to the coaching and management, underestimating, not playing quality clubs, even though it's exhibition, but you want to play at least at your level or one level beneath.
Sure.
You don't want to play a university team. You're an MLS team, for God's sakes. You've got hundreds of millions of dollars in the budget. You're MLSC, and you're playing university teams. Who's making the call?
Well, that's the thing. No idea.
It's a huge problem.
Yeah, it is.
Alberto, what would you have done differently if you were Vanni? Would you have played a 4-3-3? Was it the formation? You've coached. Tell me, was the formation the problem?
Well, I would have definitely changed the formation, at least in the second half. Okay. And you know what? Some of the young players that they got sitting on the bench, I would have given them a shot at that point.
Some of those 19-year-olds, you might as well.
Absolutely, yes.
If you're taking your lumps at that point, put in some of the young guys. Chapman scored a few nice goals last year. I think, you know what, at the end of the day, you give the young people an opportunity. Especially if you're losing.
They got something to prove.
Absolutely.
Right. That's right.
So you got this 4-3-3 formation. I'm thinking for the next game, which is here at home, does this formation change?
I don't think so.
Do we go to a 4-4-2?
I think he's going to stick to his guns.
So he's going to start the game with this formation. Why is he a stubborn guy?
If you see him, right? I was just on Twitter just screwing around the other day, and they actually have a handle on him calling him the squatting coach because he's always sitting down, he's always below, he's always trying to pay attention. You don't have your ear to the game. You don't have the respect of the players right now. The players are not respecting you as a coach. Look what happened with the Leafs. Just off topic very quickly, but look what happened when they brought Babcock in. You brought a person in the locker room that said, hey, you do what I tell you to do. Then he's not doing that. He's not stepping up. He's not telling these players, this is what you have to do. And if you don't want to do it, get out.
Is Vanni a player's player, or is he a leader? Is he a mentor?
He's not a leader.
Not a leader?
Not a leader.
You see him as a player's player,
yes.
Sports with players, reasons with the players. For me personally, a successful coach has to have a few qualities. And, you know, one of the qualities you got to have is, just like you said, you got to earn the respect of the players. And if they don't respect you, they're not going to play for you. It's just like a general on the battlefield.
100%.
You agree, Alberto?
100%. When you lose the respect of the players and they stop playing for you, you're done. So it's time for a change.
Absolutely. So I see a big problem. I even see it, you know, if we break it down by position. Alex Bono, I was a big fan. You know what? We won the MLS Cup with him. But now, as we say in Italian, Bono non è buono più. It's time to make a change. I think the goaltending's got to change. You got a goaltender who's got to read the field. You got a goaltender who's got to be the general. He's got to quarterback it, and Bono is not doing that. You know, a fellow, he's an Italian-American, we're Italian-Canadian, but at the end of the day, he is not ready. We either go out and buy a goalie or we sit him and teach him a lesson, and it's not happening. And I'm not sure if it's because Vanni is not confident in his bench or he is not confident in the team in general. But something's got to be done, and it's got to start from the back end. You guys agree?
Yes,
is goaltending a problem at a 4-0 loss?
100%.
Always
They did the same thing to Irwin when they put Bono in. So now, you think he would have learned his lesson, saying, they already did this to the person that I replaced.
Right.
Irwin should have been the one hoisting that cup on the MLS Cup in 2017.
Agreed.
So he screwed up. You put Bono in. Bono's now in. You lost. You got this monkey in your back you can't take off. You got to sit down.
So would you play Bono this next game?
Absolutely not.
You'd bench him.
Absolutely.
Santiago, Bono plays or no?
I think he should play. He's got the experience. He's got experience. I think he should.
Okay, so you think he's got the experience because he won the MLS Cup?
Well,
or he's got enough experience to endure a long season, which will be very long if they start losing from here on out?
Right now, you know what? It's a long shot. So I think because being an MLS champion, being at the finals also for the CONCACAF Champions League, he's got the experience too.
But you got to agree, his defense in 2017 really made him look good.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, Bono, like, where is he on a scale of 1 to 10? 5, 6? He's not at Gigi's level. I'm just putting it out there because at the end of the day, the defense in 2017 is what won the MLS Cup.
Okay, so who do we put? The
Alberto,
bench?
what do you think? Does Bono play or is he on the bench?
My opinion is I'm not sure when the next exhibition game is. You guys, when is that?
Well, they play Panama coming up.
Tuesday.
The next game on Tuesday.
So you know what? I would leave Bono in and go from there.
Okay, so it's 2 versus 2. For me and Mario, it's Bono non è Bono.
No,
and for
out.
Santiago and Alberto, give Bono another shot. Guys, what do you think? Giovinco is gone. What do? We don't have a striker. You got Boyd. We're waiting for Altidore to heal up. What's the situation? Do we believe that Altidore is really just waiting to heal up? Or is there something, is there an ulterior motive for him not coming out yet? What do you guys think? Alberto?
I think Altidore might be done, in my opinion.
So you're saying because Giovinco's gone, Vasquez is gone, that was his unit, they're no longer there, he's having second thoughts?
I think so, yeah.
Mario, you agree?
No. I love Altidore. I think that the guy's a machine. He's a beast. It's just he's made out of glass at this point. So I didn't even know about this ankle situation until somebody wrote about it in the paper recently.
Is it an authentic ankle situation? It's just like what happened with Giovinco.
Sure.
People are saying, no, he's not going to Saudi Arabia. Next day, he's in Saudi Arabia.
I don't think that there's a lot of people knocking on TFC's door right now saying, hey, Josie, is he available with all his ailments?
Agreed.
So, unless,
and his salary.
And his salary. So he has to be able to prove himself this season in order to at least qualify to go onto a team that's hurting to lift up some spirits or some morale on the team. But I love Josie. I love what he could deliver. I think that he's screwed right now because he doesn't have a number 1 and number 2 to play with.
Who feeds him now? Obviously, when Giovinco was here, they had a good unit. They were a great combination. He was getting fed the ball.
Osario's going to feed him, of course.
Is Osorio going to be able to rise to the occasion?
I don't think so.
Santiago, what do you think?
I have confidence in the Canadian talent. I think he would step up. I think so.
I hope I'm wrong.
Why is Osorio going to step up? Is he a leader? Do you see that maturity in him?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, he's came a long way.
He's coming.
Yeah, he's been.
Okay, let's talk about management. There was a shift with general managers. We got a new general manager. You got a lot of young people in management at TFC, and I remember when TFC was first formed some 13 years ago, the management team was made up of really a bunch of American and Anglo, not ethnic Canadians, and now we're seeing sort of I'm not sure if we're coming to the accumulation of something where Giovinco's gone, Vasquez is gone, all these international players are going, and we're trying to recruit more American players, more Canadian-based players, and try and get away from the international players. Is that the right move, to move away from the international players and just stick with local, domestic, and American talent?
That would be a big mistake on TFC part. You need the international players, and if they go back to domestic players or American players, whatnot, TFC is going to be going backwards.
Absolutely, I agree.
Go deeper than where they are.
Well, listen, guys, I think Giovinco brought the fans to the stadium. Vasquez brought the fans to the quality of play. They elevated the quality of play, the goal-scoring ability. You don't see that with the domestic players, unfortunately. We're just not there yet. So what is it about TFC? Is it just that they don't want ethnic players because they think of them as too expensive, they're not manageable? What is it about TFC not wanting these? And maybe it's because they don't see the ethnic groups in the stands. When you go to a TFC game, guys, I'll be honest with you, I'm Italian, I don't see the Italian support. I see the same 25 Italian guys have been there since day one. Yep. I don't know what the rest of the Italians are doing. They're at home eating pasta and eating pizza and watching the game on TV, but they don't want to spend the money. Years ago, when Toronto Italia was here, they were playing in Woodbridge in the 90s. You had Maradona come, everybody was there. But you know why? Because the ticket was $10. You go to MLSC, a beer's $13, parking is $30, the ticket's $150. Not everybody's going to be able to afford that. So they're catering to a different crowd, right? They're catering to that downtown crowd, and that's why they didn't build a stadium uptown by Downsview, right? What do you guys think? Is it just that it's cheaper and more efficient to have domestic players rather than buy these international guys?
Well, in my opinion, like I said, you don't keep the international players in town. What's going to happen is the 27,000, 30,000 fans will go right down below 20,000. You've seen it before with the Blizzard. Remember CNE Stadium? Absolutely.
Blizzard had 50,000 people.
100%.
They had Quinaglia there. They had 100%. Everybody. They had Betica there. Pele played at CNE Stadium. And then defunct.
That's right.
Right? So they better be careful. I agree with you 110%. Guys, what does TFC need to do to keep their fan base strong and alive?
Management needs to be more transparent with the fan. I have never seen a Toronto sports market so muted around TFC the last couple of months. It's
I agree.
ridiculous. You go on Google, you go under news, you try to search Toronto FC, Ali Curtis, Bill Manning, Sebastian Javinko, just to see what kind of feeds are coming up. Nothing is coming up. Nothing is coming up. You have internal,
There's no news.
You have internal podcasts that they're doing internally. So we have KJ that's going to talk about all this stuff. It's ridiculous. Come on, we need more people talking about this team. Got to get the fire lit under them so that we can build a team and build a championship again.
Agreed. Santiago, give us the Latino perspective, because I got tons of Latino players who play in our youth leagues. I got tons of Latino players who play in our men's leagues. They're passionate. They love soccer. They support soccer. They support Osorio, who's a local boy. Tell me what it is. What, from a Latino perspective, what do we need to do? And tell us if it's bringing in a big Latino name, maybe bringing in someone from South America, Central America, Mexico, whatever it is. What do you think?
Well, you know what? It's hard to say, to be honest. The management right now, because we lost Tim, there's no mentality of bringing
That fire's not there without
bringing
Tim.
great players.
Yeah, there's nobody with the
there's
burning
no-
desire to win.
Yeah, it's hard to say, to be honest. I don't think they want to spend the money. They're looking at the Spaniard, Osuelo. I don't know if you heard of him. But the club doesn't want to let him go.
The price just went up after last Tuesday. You think that management team and those agents
And you
were
think he
watching
wants
the
to
game?
come and play on this
He doesn't
team?
want to come play with Bradley and these guys.
Yeah, so
Come on.
it's hard to say. I have a lot of Spanish people, a lot of Latinos that go to the game, and they're puzzled with the formation, with Vanny's.
Good. So we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
The Latinos and the Italians are on the same wavelength.
Of course.
We got a serious issue. So just to let everybody know, we contacted MLSC. We wanted a representative here. Initially, they were super excited. They sent me an email back after they researched me and said, no, we can't be there. I'm sorry, we can't do any public appearances. Obviously, they're scared shitless. They're worried about this group of people who are passionate about the game and the team. We're the real Toronto fans and supporters. We're the ones in the stadiums. We're the guys paying the $13 for a watered-down beer. We are there. By the way, buy Mill Street, because they're our sponsor. They're a good beer. You should pay $14 for that. But other beer, less. Anyways, we're in the stands. They need to be here talking to us. And you know what? If you ignore us, what's going to happen is we are not going to attend the games. And eventually, that crowd, like Alberto said, of 30,000 will be 20 to 15 to 10. So,
I
guys.
just want to bring something up very quickly.
Yes.
I was at the Toronto FC Kick It Off party. It was the kit launch party at the CN Tower. I bring my 83-year-old father to this event that night, and I started just talking with some of the reps that are around from TFC. I said, are we going to do a Q&A? Is anybody showing up for management? They said, no, we're not expecting anybody to come. Are there any other reserve
Completely
players here?
disrespectful.
So then, at the end of the night, as people were leaving to the elevator to go back home, all of a sudden, Ali Curtis shows up. No Q&A. You speak for 2 or 3 minutes about how passionate you are to be. I don't care if you like.
They don't give a
Toronto or
shit
not.
about the fans. That's the bottom
Tell
line.
us your plan.
If you care about the fans, you will be there asking questions. You'll be on every podcast, every
Yes.
TV show. You will
Absolutely.
be out there hitting the pavement, and you will be saying, you know what? We're going to revamp. We're going to restructure. This team will make it. Give us some confidence to believe. If you don't give me the confidence to believe,
They said
I won't
nothing.
believe.
They said nothing.
Alberto, if you were the general manager of the team right now, what would you do?
Well, I tell you, I'm a believer of international players. I strongly believe in that. You know, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Follow the model, what works in places like Europe, right? Where they have players from all over Europe and South America. And listen, South Americans add spark to this game.
Absolutely.
It is what it is. We're not going to fool anybody. And we need to keep that multicultural, international players. Speaking about if TFC is going to continue to grow and do things, if they're going to go back to, like we're talking about, all domestic players, we're going to be going backwards, back 40 years.
The only thing I would say MLSE has done right from a business perspective, not a soccer perspective, is target the Premier League fan. So they've taken those English fans, they created a supporter section. In that supporter section, you've got all these Premier League fans from Chelsea, from Manchester United, Manchester City, and they're there. They're the ones buying the $13 beers. They're buying all the nachos. They're buying the merchandising, and they're the ones who are really supporting the team in the stands. So what I think is, from a marketing and business point of view, it's genius, but I got to tell you, from the game and fan base point of view, watching it on TV, it's very sad, and they're going to lose their fan base really quick. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
What do we do moving forward as a soccer community and culture in Toronto? Do we continue to support this team, or do we move to the CPL, which we haven't talked about? York 9 is coming. Do we sell our TFC tickets and buy York 9 tickets, or do we support both? What do you think, Santiago? TFC on the road.
I'm going to be really honest. We worked backwards. I think CPL should have been formed before having a
100%. This is a reactionary play.
Now, you're going to have... I honestly, I love Toronto FC. You might have, depending how CPL works, comes out.
Will it be successful? Will CPL? Most people don't even know what it is. When I say CPL, people are like, what is that, a new gas station? People don't know. Tell me, do you think it will be, will the Latinos support it? Because I'll tell you what, the Italian brothers ain't supporting it, man. I don't think so. And all due respect, it's an Italian owner, but he's got English management. If I were the Italian owner of that team, I would have an Italian coach. I'd go out there, I'd hire Gattuso, bring it from Milan. The guy's got $500 million, he's got $1 billion, the owner. Pay the guy whatever it takes. And then bring some players. Bring Giovinco's brother, who plays 3rd division in Catanzaro. And then some people will go see. Otherwise, you can't have a bunch of 19-year-olds and expect people to pay $25, $30 plus parking. It's not going to happen with the Italian community. It's going to happen with the Spanish community. Are they going to go watch TFC 2? Are they going to go watch York 9? Tell me.
Well, right now you can't really compare, right? See, the CPL hasn't started. They don't know the outcome. Back again, when Toronto FC came out with the team, they didn't know the outcome either.
Absolutely,
they didn't know the outcome.
I agree with you. You don't know yet, right? You gotta put the boots on the ground to figure out. Mario, CPL, will they be successful? We got a York 9 team here in the region. Are they going to make it?
I want to be optimistic and say that this is going to be something that's fruitful, but I just think that it's going to be it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster.
Why? Why is it going to be a disaster?
Because we don't, you alluded to this previously. There's no marketing campaign behind this. We don't, to your point, you guys were talking about marquee players. Who's the marquee player? We had Giovinco here.
Agreed.
Okay? I remember being at that meeting when TFC invited people from the Italian-Canadian community. What are we going to do when we launch Seba to Toronto? What are the ideas? Where's CPL's meeting? Who are they infiltrating? Who are they speaking to within the community to say, how are we supposed to do this?
Well said. They're not targeting the social clubs.
They're not targeting anything.
They're not targeting the community organizations. They're out there on Instagram hoping that 19, 20, 21-year-old kids are going to buy season tickets.
They're not going.
It's not going to happen. They're ordering bottle service downtown wherever they're partying.
Exactly.
Alberto, will the CPL make it here in Canada? Will this league endure? Will we make it to 2026? Which, by the way, I think it was a stipulation of us getting a World Cup, having a domestic league.
Yeah. Well, listen, born in Canada, being raised here, I hope to God that they do make it. And
so we got to pray for a miracle.
I would like to say too is that we want to support our Canadian league.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, we're going to go there and support and really watch what quality of soccer is it. Are we watching 4th, 5th division soccer here?
Yep.
Or what? And there's no indication to me, Canada-wide, having spoken to all the partners across the country with these teams, there's no indication to me that there are any really international players where even if they're 30, 35 years old, that someone would want to go and watch because they one time were a great player in South America or in Europe. So they haven't really done that. They haven't communicated that. And to your points, guys, I speak to people every day, and really nobody knows about the CPL.
Nobody knows.
Nobody even knows about it. So the marketing is very, very poor.
They're active online though. but it's not good. It's not turning into any traction. There's no return on investment yet.
Guys, the activity online is minimal at best. I think they've got a lot of young people working as interns, working for free. Sure. I don't know how many people are getting paid. If you do not have paid professional people, you will not make traction. And the owners should know better. You got a fractional ownership agreement there. You've got Jimmy Brennan, who's the director, and he's a part owner. Yeah, Jimmy Brennan was a great player. He played overseas internationally. He played for TFC. Management-wise, I don't know what kind of experience the guy has. And it's not a shot at him, it's a shot at his experience. What business has he managed in terms of sports, in terms of teams, to give him the experience to launch a successful business? Because anyone with money can buy shit.
Sure.
But can anyone with money make something successful? You can throw all the money you want at this. Doesn't mean it's going to make it. They've tried it before, and it has not worked. Just to help out York 9, I'm going to buy 100 York 9 tickets, and I'm going to donate them to school kids.
Good.
In the community. And I will donate 100 York 9 tickets to get those kids out for the opening game. They can go out and make their own decision on the quality of play, and if they want to bring their parents, that'll be another 2 tickets to every kid. So York 9, we're going to do our part because I love soccer and we want to see it go. Gentlemen, let's have some closing remarks. We'll start from Alberto. Alberto, what do you see as the future of soccer with TFC? And would you share my dream? If you've been following a lot of my podcasts and you've been following me on Instagram, you know that my dream is to put a team together, which we're starting a crowdfunding campaign. This will be the first one ever to buy an MLS franchise. MLS is looking to expand in Canada over the next 10 years. My dream is to be an owner, one of the owners, in a group of this team. And when I put it out there, I had businessmen calling me from all over the GTA ready to put money in. Do you think the TFC and Canada is ready for another MLS team, and would you be part of this?
Absolutely, 100%, Tony. Now that the CPL is kicking in, of course, MLS is going to look at this as their competitor. Small, medium, or big, we don't know where it's going to end up, the CPL, but it's another competitor up and coming like any other business. So I would imagine that MLS is going to look at this very seriously and expand teams into Canada. And yes, having watched and having spoken to Tony, I am very seriously interested in being part of an MLS expansion.
And we welcome you aboard. Tell us, Mario, what do you think? The future of MLS in Canada, will it expand? Would you be part of a fractional ownership? And when we say crowdfunding, there will be some kind of minimum. You're going to have to invest some money, and it's not going to be $5. It's going to be tens of thousands of dollars, maybe $1 million. But we're looking for serious people. David Beckham had to put up $20 million, and then he had to have a bond on the back end of like $100 million. But he needed $20 million up front. We can raise the $20 million. Are you in?
100%. I think I was probably one of the first people that watched your podcast and said, let's make it happen now. Focus on it. 10 years, great goal. Let's make it happen sooner.
Beautiful.
Okay?
I'm agreeing. Santiago, what do you think? MLS in Canada, room for expansion?
It's always room for expansion. You just have to have the right mentality, the right business mentality, to be honest. And I think soccer here in Canada should be one of the biggest.
Because it's the biggest recreational sport for amateurs and youth. Right, we've
right.
got over 1 million youth players in this country of 33 million people, which is a phenomenal number. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank my entire panel for being here. If you follow us on Instagram at GTA Sportsplex, we're going to put up links to all of the gentlemen who joined us on the roundtable. We're going to try and do this every couple of weeks throughout the TFC season to give our thoughts and reflections on the TFC season and how they're doing and playing, and we'll talk about management and everything else. On my Instagram page, you'll find a link. Here is what I jotted down. It's a little bit of humor, tongue-in-cheek humor, and basically while I was watching that catastrophe of the Panamanian game, I looked at the 4-3-3 formation and just fooling around, I came up with some tongue-in-cheek names for all the players, like Bono, non è Bono. In Italian that means Bono, he's no good. Mavinga is sta minchia, if you're Italian. We got Seaman, who's cemento, piece of cement. They can take a joke and a jab once in a while. Follow us on Instagram at gtasportsplex.com and follow these gentlemen. I'll have all of their links on my Instagram page. Until next time, cheers, thank you, go Canada Soccer. We're going to buy that MLS team. You want to be part of that dream? Follow us at GTA Sportsplex.
It's all about the game. And how you play it, all about control. And if you can take it, it's all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pay. And who's gonna make it?